Yeah, we about to go live. I like you gotta skate, skate. 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 Go live, 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 go live.
What's up, everybody? Hey, welcome back to another edition of Coach A Football, WRE Live. Today, we got a special one. We are looking at the top two dual-threat quarterbacks in the nation in the class of 2021. Now, what I do want to say is real quick for those that are just jumping on, as I always say, if you're watching this live on Facebook, do me a favor. Go ahead and start that watch party. Pass it on over to your friends, family, and even people that you don't know. If you're in some of these Facebook groups, that's maybe support one of these young men, or if you just like college football, please go ahead and do so. And the same thing goes for YouTube as well. Please make sure you share out that link, put it in the group chat. You know, those annoying group chats that's going off at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, it's time to annoy somebody else and send them Coach Hayes football so we can make it happen, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, real quick, I see we got quite a few people in, and we're not going to last long because, as you know, I'm from the crib. And what does that mean? I'm from Miami, and my Miami Heat is playing right now. I understand. I already got comments in the comments section. I'm going to throw this up here right now as we speak, right? Jaden 5117 says, Coach, the Heat on right now, man. Laugh out loud. I know they are. This was already scheduled. Sorry, it is what it is. But like most people, guess what? So what? Turn the TV on, put this on in your lap, on your phone, on your tablet, and turn this up loud and cut the heat down for right now so we can make this thing happen. All right. So without further ado, what we're going to do is, as you know, we're jumping on into this, and we got a special guest, a special judge guest. Okay, and I'm going to let him introduce himself simply because I don't want to leave anything out. So if anybody is mad, they have to be mad at him and not me. So with all that being said, and without further ado, what I like to do is bring in Mr. Quarterback Trainer himself, Mr. Balin Trujillo. How you doing, Coach? What's going on? Uh-oh. My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Coach.
No, what's up, man? Hey, going back to your Heat comment, I'm a Heat fan as well. Obviously, grew up a Miami fan, everything Miami. And, you know, it's their fault they didn't sweep the guys, so we wouldn't have this problem if they would have just took care of business on Sunday. So now they got to play on Tuesday night, but this was already scheduled, and it's football, so there's nothing better than that. So let's get right into it. But, yeah, I'm Balin Trujillo, quarterback trainer, obviously in Orlando, Florida. Played at the University of South Florida, so I always rep the Bulls. Played also at Weber International. Played 3 years of professional football, most notably with the Orlando Predators last year. Train kids from all across the country, have big quarterback camps that I put on. So quarterback is my main position I focus on. That's what I've been playing since I was 7 years old. So whenever we talk about guys like this, you know, I'm all in. So you're going to get my full evaluation on these guys, and it's coming from a guy whose all mindset is quarterback.
I heard that. Well, guess what? Hey, man, I appreciate you. He said, I'm still here, Coach. Let's ride. Well, guess what? The donk already out the gate, baby. Let's get it. We riding. If you understand what I'm saying, man. Balin, I appreciate that. Let's jump straight on into these guys, man. So today we're looking at the number 2 dual threat quarterback, which is Brock Vandagriff, versus Caleb Williams, the number 1 dual threat quarterback. And so what we do here, this is what we do here, is we go head to head. This is a new segment. We've done 2 of these already. We've done the pocket, pro style quarterback. We've done defensive tackles. Okay. And now today we're looking at the dual threat quarterbacks. And so what I've done, Balin, just so you want to kind of stand the rules of the game here, and for maybe my first time viewers are seeing this or people that don't really know, is I have taken the top first 10 clips of each one of their highlights, right? I'm not looking for their best plays. That's not what I'm looking for. You put your highlight out there, I'm taking your very first clip against your opponent's first clip, and we're going to judge it out. Who's got the knockout blow? Who was better on that particular clip? Now, sometimes I know it may be apples against oranges, but it is what it is. You understand? You know, sometimes in the ring, you throw a hook, somebody throw a jab. So it is what it is, man. So with that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to get on into this. Let's just talk briefly about, let's say Brock, for example. I know he is committed to Georgia, and he is from Bogart, Georgia. Let's talk a little bit about his recruiting and kind of what was going on with him, and maybe a couple of stats you may have there.
Yeah, man. So he was actually originally committed to Oklahoma for over almost a year. Ended up decommitting actually January 1st of this year, then committed 20 days later to Georgia. I think, you know, the way he plays, he looks like more like a Bo Nix. type of styled quarterback. You know, he's got a good build. He's muscular. And his recruiting trip obviously has been really well. I think at the next level, he's being recruited more as a pro style. But with his stats, rushing 34 touchdowns, claims him as a dual threat. And he does run a 4.6. He is on the basketball and track team at the school he's at. And so, yeah, he's labeled as a dual threat just because of his stats. He also threw 65 touchdowns in 3 years. That's pretty impressive. And obviously over 6,000 passing yards and only 10 interceptions. I think that's the key right there. Only 10 interceptions in 3 full seasons playing with his team. That's a pretty impressive stat, throwing 65 touchdowns, 10 picks, and 34 rushing touchdowns. Also has 4 receiving TDs as well. So Brock is a pretty special talent.
Got you, man. And that's interesting now because you said that he was committed to Oklahoma. Well, guess what? The next guy up is the number 1 ranked dual threat quarterback who's also committed to Oklahoma.
Yep.
Okay. So maybe, I don't know. You know, I like a little competition. I'm a trash talker about heart by nature, man. But do you think that may have pushed him out the stable when Caleb Williams decided to commit there?
I think Caleb just is a recent commit. So he had this whole little ordeal thing going on Twitter with this whole commitment process and had an awesome video. I watched it. It was a pretty cool thing. But I think once they offered him, Brock I think he understood what the situation was. And this kid was obviously number 1 in the country. And the way that he plays fits Oklahoma's scheme. I think Brock made a great decision going to Georgia because, again, I think he's going to be a pro-style guy at the next level, comparing him to Bo Nix. But we have a guy like Caleb, who I compare himself to like Russell Wilson. I feel like he's a guy who can kill you with your feet, but also has a great arm. And he's just different. He's special. He's got that it factor. And, his stats, the interesting thing about him, and this is how recruiting works. And it's interesting when you see someone that has that it factor, they go after it. And this guy hasn't even played a full season of football in his whole entire high school career. His first 2 seasons only played 8 games. Last year only played 4 games. And he's just, he's different. Some of his stats, he's thrown 30 touchdowns in 3 years, only 9 interceptions, like we just talked about with Brock, low in the turnover ratio, 3,709 yards, 13 rushing touchdowns, and also a receiving touchdown as well. So he's a different type of caliber athlete, also has clocked in at a 4.6 40 as well. So he's got some speed. I think that's one of his attributes is when you see him in open space, the kid is special and he just runs away.
Yeah, man, that is huge, man. And like you said, I know Caleb had a thing, and I've actually done a video on both of these guys. So for those that don't know, I do what I call WRE, which stands for Watch, React, and Evaluate, where I actually look at their highlight tapes, break it down. Some entertaining commentary there, but I also try and make sure I give some coaching points in there as well. So that way, you want to kind of teach the fans a little bit about maybe a prospect that you will be getting at one of your favorite schools. So I had an opportunity to do Caleb. And I actually dropped Brock's video this morning at 11 o'clock, and it's been well received and getting some good reviews, good comments. Everybody hit me up with the Go Dogs. And for all you Bulldog fans out there, I truly apologize. I put hashtag Go Bulldogs, and I almost got my phone service cut off because they told me, coaches, hashtag Go Dogs, DAWGS. So for all you Bulldogs out there and all you Go Dogs out there, I apologize, but we fixed it. We got it right. So with all that being said, man, we're going to jump into this thing. Like I said, I take the top 10 clips. You got a scorecard. Coach, I got a scorecard. For everybody at home, excuse me, has a scorecard, you're more than welcome. And I have a call-in number. As soon as this is over, I'm going to throw the call-in number up there. Please, you're more than welcome. Give us your opinion. Give us what you think about these guys. Let us know, do you think number 1 should still be number 1? Or do you think number 2 overtook it? Because I'm going to say this, and I'm going to do my little intro. But the difference in their ranking, I want you guys to understand this, and I hope y'all pass this math class when it comes to place values. The difference in their ranking is 53 ten-thousandths of a point. That means 0.0053. Okay, that's the difference between being number 1 and number 2 right now in the dual threat category. Okay, so I'm talking about, bro. We what is one play less, one play more? You know what I mean? So we're going to see what it's all about, man. Let me do this so I can go ahead. We got to pay a couple bills here right quick. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this piece in right fast. And we're going to go ahead and let me see if I got it up here. And we definitely going to make it happen because if I don't, I do. But here we go, Coach. All right. This segment of Coach Hayes Football is sponsored by Clean Team Get Right. Fellas, after you train, play, and battle on the field of play, you must clean up and get showered, and then get right with Clean Team Get Right. Get Right will have you right all day and night. Remember, being clean is everything. There we go, fellas. So now we done paid those bills. We back in the scene. We finna make it happen. Listen, I'm doing my little intro before we make this thing go right quick. If you understand what I'm saying, we're going to definitely make this happen. Let me pull this back up right quick. Here we go. All right. So in the red corner, we got Brock Vandagriff, 5-star. Stands at 6'3", 205 pounds. Nationally, he's ranked number 13, the number 2 dual threat quarterback, the number 2 athlete out of the state of Georgia. And of all time, he's ranked 342nd. He comes from Bogart, Georgia. He's from Prince Avenue Christian School, and he'll be wearing your blue and gold tonight. All right. Caleb Williams stands 6'1", 210. Nationally, he's ranked number 4. He's number 1 dual threat quarterback, number 1 in D.C., that is District of Columbia. Okay. And all time, he's the 102nd ranked player of all time. Hails from Washington, D.C., and he goes to Gonzaga College High School, and he'll be sporting the purple and black. Get that crap out of here, and we finna make this thing happen. We're going to get to it right now. So with all that being said, we're going to jump right on into this thing, and we're going to see what this is all about. I hope you're in the comment section. We finna go head to head. Coach, you got your scoring card ready?
Let's do it, man.
I got my scoring card ready. Let's get it. Yes, sir.
Ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen,
sir.
welcome to the main event.
Yes, sir.
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right, Coach. You ready?
I'm ready, baby.
Let's do it. All right, here we go, baby. Now, for those that's out there watching, Brock will be the very first clip after each round, and Caleb will be second. All right, Coach. Let me see what we got here. Little roll out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Coach, you can't tackle that man in the phone booth, Coach.
Woo, that boy is special, man. I'm telling you what. I know you saw the face mask, too.
I saw it.
Yeah, he grabbed a little face mask there. Still got away.
Hey, that boy took that thing about 90, didn't he?
Look at the breakaway speed. That's the thing.
Only man on the screen, Coach. Little RPO game. I'm liking it. They cut their clip so short on.
Oh man, look at the play action, baby. I love that play action head fake. Look at the ball in the air, 64 yards in the air.
Hold on, let's see, Coach. You got to put it on the card.
Hey man, he look like Floyd Mayweather right now, man. Oh, that's a good throw. I love that throw.
That's a great throw. Hey, Brock punching back, man.
But look at this throw right here, boy. This is what gets me excited.
Coach. Brock got to get off the ropes, Coach. Here we go.
Uh-oh. Breakaway speed. I like it. Hey. I like it. With a little, okay, track runner.
He caught Caleb with a hook right there now.
Now this is all Oklahoma right here. Woo!
Let's see.
Let's see, Brock. What we got going on, Brock?
What we got here, baby? Let's go. You know what I like about Brock, though? He's a real flick of the wrist kind of guy.
He is, but he holds that ball so low.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Look at that speed. Look at that speed. The gears. You see the gears?
Oh, it's a wrap. I'm the only man on the screen, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Me and the referee,
ain't even breathing. Coach. He ain't even breathing hard. Look at the ball. Look at that ball. Oh, that's a nice throw right there.
Back shot, back shoulder fade.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at the gears. Look at the gears.
I see.
Whoa. That's a DB, too, by the way. He off the screen now. It's a wrap.
Yes, sir.
That football speed is a lot different than that track.
Yes, sir.
I love the way Brock looks, though, like under center or like in the gun. Like he looks solid. Oh, that's a throw right there. That is a dime.
Yeah. That's a good throw right there now.
That's special.
Oh my God!
But how about this throw?
Oh! Hey, coach, that's close right here. I don't know how to mark that. I got to put a question mark and come back to it. Come on, bro. You got to get off the
Man,
rope.
look at that ball, though, man. That's the only thing I don't like about it. That ball's so low on the hip. But, man, what a throw.
Golly.
That's a nice throw. RPO. Oh, made a bad read, but Mace. Oh. That might have been the uppercut we were looking for. It might be over.
I don't know. That throwback post looked decent right there.
I don't know, man. This is a throw. That's the throw. That's an NFL type throw. This is special. This is special, though. This is different than what we're seeing. Oh, and he trucked the kid. Oh yeah, it's different. Oh boy. That's a nice little RPO. Yep.
RPO.
Okay. Wide open. Let's see what we can do in tight spaces. Oh, come here. Break tackle. Look at it. Look at the grass going off. That's an NFL throw. Man, look. Hey, look, man.
Hold on, coach. Listen, there's a lot going on right now.
I don't know.
There's a lot going on right now. Hold on. Wait. That was 10 rounds of some funkified funk, if you understand what I'm saying. But here we go. It's close. Here we go. We're not going to talk about the scorecard. All right? I'm going to take this down. I'm going to take this down. Let me ask you this before I take this down.
Okay.
Do you have, don't let me know who it is, but do you have it as a tie right now?
No.
Okay, I don't either. So we don't have to go to the tiebreaker. I can get this off the screen, all right? And we can make this happen. So now here's what I'm getting ready to do, guys. I'm getting ready to open up the phone lines. I definitely want to hear, I definitely want to hear your point of view of what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? So please do me a favor, call in. We're going to talk about this right now. So, Coach, this is what I want you to do, because I know you made some comments while this was going on.
Yeah.
Kind of give me just a quick synopsis of each one of those guys, and I'm going to tell you what I see here, but I'm going to let you go first since you're the guest of honor tonight.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with number 2 first. I'm going to start off with Brock, because that's what we start off with. You know, again, he's got a great muscular build. I just made a comment. When you watch him in the gun, he's just got a stature about him that's pretty special. You can see the kid's like on an elite level, especially at that competition. He's got a muscular build with a great arm. He's very experienced in the RPO game. We saw a lot of his film was RPO related, you know, a lot of zone action, throwing slants, throwing, out routes, throwing hitches all over the field, and especially those back shoulder fades and the wheel route. That's a pretty big time throw. He's very accurate in the intermediate game, which separates him from a lot of quarterbacks. So a lot of quick stuff, which is going to help him in the pro style offense. The only thing that I see on his deep ball sometimes when he throws it, he looks a little robotic and the ball drops a little bit. Instead of, that it just accelerates, it kind of just floats there and it drops. And also the one thing that I don't like about his game that he can fix, it's nothing that he can't work on, is the ball's so low. Every time he gets the ball, it's stuck on his hip. And when he's rolling out, he always carries the ball with one hand like he's Michael Vick. In the next level, when you're playing in the SEC, that's fumble. That's a lot of turnovers. So if he can eliminate that, just keep the ball nice and relaxed on his chest. A lot of the other stuff that he can fix and work on, but that's a special talent. Comparing him to our boy Caleb here, wow. His third throw, I think, in my opinion, that was a knockout blow. That was a 10-8 round. The kid flicked the wrist, and he was on the opposite hash, and he threw before the receiver was looking, right on the sideline. Yeah, it was only an 8-yard gain, but that shows the type of caliber and talent his arm is. We obviously saw his breakaway speed. He's running a 4.6 40, but he has gears that you see. So he's running probably 4.3 on the field, which we know is different than track. He's got a strong arm. You see when his deep ball goes, it goes. His second throw was a 64-yard bomb in the air. It was a 64-yard throw. It wasn't like the whole play was 64 yards. No, it was a 64-yard throw. That's a pretty special. He shows that he's comfortable on the run too, making throws awkwardly. He throws off different platforms, which is very exciting for a college coach to watch. We're making throws in awkward situations where it wasn't situational, where he's making plays on his legs that weren't designed. I think that's what really separates the two, even though Brock did show some of that. But when we're talking about throwing to your left, across your body, across the middle for a 15-yard gain on a dig route, that's pretty special. And then obviously the comeback at the last play there, going to his left, making guys miss. And the first play, it just shows his it factor. When you break 4 tackles and you run for a 70-yard touchdown after a face mask when so much chaos is in your face, I mean, that's special. As he's running, he's pointing at the, blocking where his receivers need to block, and just it's just a whole different IQ level. And I think that's what really separates the two.
Great, man. And I'm going to echo a lot of the things that you said, but I'm going to start off with Brock as well. So, like I said, one of the very first things I saw with Brock, and I'm a defensive guy, you're a quarterback guy, so we look at things a little different. I'm a results guy, get it done. Maybe sometimes offensive guys may be a little more technical and, got to cross every T and dot every I. I'm worried about you getting across that white line. So here's my deal, right? So when I look at Brock, first thing I see is, like you said, the first negative that I see, the ball is extremely low. Right, it's low, but two things that easily can be corrected, but that has created a habit. And what I think a lot of times with those habits come is because he probably has very large hands, and it's a trust thing. It's almost like for guys who have very large hands, it's like running around out there with them, like running around with a tennis ball in your hand. That's how they feel. Still can be knocked out. Don't get me wrong, but that has to be corrected. Second thing. And this is why I said what I kind of prefaced this a little earlier by saying defense, offense guys. I noticed there's a little wind up in his throw, and I mentioned that in my video today. Okay, it's long. It's long, but part of that may be because he does hold the ball so low. It's a lot of wind up in it. I don't know if he's a baseball player. I don't know if that's a pitcher's type deal. I'm not sure. I don't know his background.
I do know he plays basketball and track. I don't know about baseball.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this, man. You call it what you want. Tim Tebow had that same thing, and people can say what they want. And I think we've had a discussion, but he won him a Heisman and he got him a natty. So my thing is this: I get it. I understand the fundamentals. I understand the techniques. But sometimes if you try and fix something that may not necessarily be all that broken,
right? I see what you're saying.
You end up breaking it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like they call it, when you're driving, you overcorrect, and then you end up being out of control. So I'm not saying it can't be fixed.
Yeah.
And it's not a fixable thing. But if it's a thing that is, you're trying to spend more time fixing that than doing other things, and he's still making the plays and all of that kind of stuff, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. Okay. Another thing is, and I mentioned this in my video today, on that bubble route. I mean, I always call it bubble, but on the sprint outs and on your rollouts, he's a little flat. He needs to get that arc in there so he can get his hip, especially on the one we saw where he's a right-handed guy and he rolled to his left. He's got to be able to get that arc around so he can get his hips parallel to the line of scrimmage to make it easier to throw, so he doesn't have to be all contorted on trying to throw that ball, man. And again, because he gets away with some things, because I believe he has big hands, very strong arm, and it was on that play where he threw that beautiful ball to on the corner route. You know what I mean? I mean, it was a great ball. But again, it was, what if he has to plant that foot and drive that backside post or something? I don't think he could have done it.
And we're talking about in the SEC too.
SEC. Listen, what you talking about? Caleb running the 4.6. You got 300-pound dudes running the 4.8. Huh? Going to the drive. So imagine you rolling to your right. You got to flip your hips around. And listen, I would never be a quarterback. Y'all can keep that. Y'all keep that fame and all that Joe named Broadway Joe stuff. Look here, ain't nowhere in the world I'm gonna have to roll to my left, flip my hips around, and a 300-pound bullet coming at me up under my chin strap. And coach talking about stand in the pocket and throw the ball. You out your mind, coach. Guess what? So with all that being said, let me go on and get to Caleb. So Caleb, right? What the things no, I'm sorry. Let me go back to Brock because I didn't talk about positive. The positives with Brock that I see, he throws a very accurate ball, despite all of that stuff you see with the wind up and the ball being low. He throws. I mean, for his first 10 clips and the rest of his highlight that I've seen, I mean, he's hitting dudes in stride. Guys are not having to jump for the ball. They don't have to overextend. I don't see guys diving for the ball. I mean, that's through his entire highlight tape. So, I mean, even deep ball and all the throws from the outs to the goals to the digs to the corner routes to the hitches, he's pretty much putting it right there in the torso, right in the strike zone. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's a very positive. He's a tall guy. And I do think he fell into this dual threat quarterback category, if you're not mistaken.
Yes. Yep.
I don't think he is a true quarter like Aaron Rodgers. I always say this. Aaron Rodgers, they don't label him a dual threat quarterback, but he can run when he needs to.
Man, that's a great comparison, actually.
Yeah, because Aaron Rodgers is not going to take it 60 or 80.
Yes.
It ain't going to be sexy. It's not going to look pretty, but he's going to rumble, stumble, get down and make you miss. He's deceptively fast.
Yeah.
But he's going to keep the chains moving. Now, on the other hand, the Michael Vick, the Lamar Jacksons, they're going to break you down. They're going to have you looking silly. You're going to be holding your kneecap when it's over. That's the difference. Because you didn't see that. You didn't see that with Brock. You saw Brock getting out the pocket, running, get what he had to, and boom. Yeah. Now, Caleb, on the other hand, let me go to Caleb's. Let me go in and talk about his negatives so I can finish off with his positive. The only negatives I see is when it's time to run, he's ready to run. I don't know how often. Again, I'm talking about these 10 clips. His highlight tape is like 13 minutes long.
Yeah.
But there's times where you still can keep your eyes open. You know what I mean? Keep your eyes downfield. He does it in some of his clips. But again, this is a highlight. So imagine his low lights. How often did he just take off and run because he trusted his ability to get out the pocket? And I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing, but just know it is a thing. You understand what I'm saying? Just know that when you and again, think about it. You just said this. He's never played a full season due to injury.
Right.
So he's got to learn how to live in this game.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, he's got to learn how to live in this game. I mean, think about it. Your junior year, you only play 4 games of 10, including maybe if they do playoffs or wherever they win.
Right. Yeah.
That's not a good deal, and that's not a good track record. All right. So I said all that. Now that he go to positives, he throws a great ball. He's very elusive. He has great pocket presence. You can tell he has arm strength. His deep ball, to me, because I'm not a quarterback guru, but he throws the ball. It has a very nice arc. And the best thing about it, that ball turns over, nose comes down, and it drops. That is the hardest thing to defend as a DB because the angle of the ball is not on your level. It's already over your head as it's coming down. And so that's why people are here trying to get 6-foot cornerbacks. See, people don't realize, people thought that people were trying to get 6-foot cornerbacks because of a jump ball situation. That's a 10% of it. How many jump balls do you see in a game? 10%.
Only in the goal line. Yeah.
Exactly.
Rarely.
So now you're trying to get guys who's 6 foot because if I'm a 6-foot receiver and I'm a 5'8" DB, I'm open if I'm next to you. Right?
Yeah.
But if I'm a 6-foot DB and a 6-foot receiver, right?
We're even.
Now we're even. But if I get a little bit of room, I can still defend that. And if you're a 5'8" receiver, I still got you covered because of my arm length. But I'm not going to go too deep into all that, man. That's what I'm talking about. So, guys, do me a favor. Call in. We're going to break it down. I want to hear the coach's scorecard. I'm going to give you my scorecard. Put in the comment section down here what you scored it. KA is on the line. Let me see. If you ask me, Brock is a better passer. A lot of scrambles from Caleb. Wonder how he's reading of defenses. Not a lot of game experience either, I believe. And also, he says both are really good prospects, though regardless. And I agree with you on that. I think that I think Brock's passes were a little bit more on point and a little bit more accurate. What do you think, Coach?
Yeah, no, I agree. And that again, that's what I said when I talked about Brock. Is his accuracy, especially in the intermediate game, is on point. Like it's hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
No, it's on point, and that's what Brock is special at, and that's why he's ranked so high. The only thing, again, and I want to make sure I make this clear as well, because again, when I talk about the breaking down of these quarterbacks, I look at also level of competition, and when you're doing the things that Caleb was doing against teams that are going 7-3 year in year out, and then you're comparing it to Brock, who's playing pretty much his whole schedule in 5-5. A lot of the competition level is a little down. So Brock looks like the superstar, compared to Caleb, where he has to work for a lot of things. Now, the one comment you made in that statement there, and I love it, was the fact that you said that one, he has inexperience, which we just, we mentioned Caleb does have inexperience, but 2, is he accurate, and is he just running out because he can? Is he really breaking down and reading a defense? And that's one thing Brock is showing in the RPO is he's actually reading guys flying in, pulling it, throwing behind, which is why I think that's part of his highlights. Because like I mentioned before, Brock has thrown 65 touchdowns, but in his first 10 plays, he's only showed that he threw 1, right? Because he's wanting the people to see that he's actually reading defenses and understands the game of football. And what people don't know is Brock is a coach's kid. His dad is a head coach. His dad is all involved. Okay. So Brock is a coach's kid. So I know his football IQ is a lot higher than most quarterbacks, whereas Caleb can rely most on his athletic ability to get out of the pocket because he can and then make the throw. The one thing that I see the difference, though, is Caleb's making extremely difficult throws look natural and easy, Whereas, Brock, again, he's got a lot of fundamental issues as far as turning his body, getting his shoulder square, throwing, with the long windup and stuff. Whereas I think Caleb is just a more polished, quicker release, very athletic, and does a lot of crazy things. Both highly recruited because of it.
Gotcha. Well, listen, we got a caller. We're going to bring him in right now. Caller, talk to us. Give us your name, where you're from, and let us know your question or comment. Thanks for calling in.
Coach Hayes, Coach Baylor, what's going on, fellas, man? It's Coach Agard over there at West Point High School.
What's happening with you, man?
I'm going to have to go with my dog. What's going on, man? You know me, living the dream,
that, man. When
Getting
y'all
ready
play
for
those
Evans
guys?
Week 1, man. Is Ramadan and Rosh Hashanah.
Y'all play on Friday?
Thursday, I think. Thursday, right?
Thursday. Okay, I'll probably Thursday. Okay, Thursday. Wait, what time is that kickoff? Let's give you a little plug. What time is that?
Yeah, Thursday. 7 o'clock.
All right, 7 o'clock at Evans. That'll be the West Orange
Evans.
Warriors against the Evans Trojans. 7 o'clock at Evans. If you don't know where it is, Google it. But go ahead, Coach. Talk to us. Give us your question and your comment.
Oh, man, thank you for having me on again, Coach. I'm going to have to go with my dog Caleb on it. I know y'all was knocking him for
No. Caleb had a high ball.
Hold on. You said Caleb had the low ball, or you mean Brock had the low ball? Brock had the Brock had the blue and gold.
I think it was Brock.
All right, so that is Brock. Okay,
yeah, the one with the blue and gold. Yes, him. He was throwing more of a catchable ball, and that's what I like to see, because I know you remember kids like Joe Milton. He could throw it a million miles an hour, but he really couldn't put no touch on the ball, so the receivers had that real strong hand. So my question to you, Coach, as a head coach, would you rather have a fastball or a catchable ball?
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And with that also, and I also wanted to say before I got off was, I don't know if y'all saw the top 60, but there was only 3 quarterbacks in there, and the quarterbacks in this area don't get too much love. And I know my dog Balin over there be doing his thing, so I just wanted to know if you think that's more of athlete specified, or is that quarterback, not for quarterbacks at all? Is that just
all right, well, man, hey, man, Coach, I appreciate you calling in. Wish you nothing but the best. I may be in the stands, man. I may check. I don't even know if I could be in the stand, but guess what? If I am, guess what? I'm gonna be masked up. Don't even go there, Woody, because I'm ready to mask up. You understand? Hey, but man, I wish y'all boys the best, man. But I appreciate you, man.
Oh, man, I'm gonna put you on my list. I'm gonna put you
on that COVID-19 list, man. I don't want it. All right, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you, Coach.
All right, brother.
All right, Coach. So I'm gonna let you go to I'm gonna answer this first part. He asked me as a head coach, what would I rather have, a catchable ball or a strong ball? I'd rather have, of course, a catchable ball, but a strong ball could always be a catchable ball. So I'm gonna rephrase his question a little bit. And if he asks me who would I rather have, athlete for athlete, Brock or Caleb, I personally am going to say Caleb for this one particular reason. At any given moment, he can hit the eject button and get up out of there and make big things happen. I'm not picking Caleb for his arm talent over Brock. I'm picking him over his foot talent over Brock. As of what I see today. You understand what I'm saying? So that's my question. Now, quarterback, trainer extraordinaire, which two would you rather have and why? I told you mine. I'll tell you why I picked Caleb and why. Yeah. Tell me who would you pick and why?
It's interesting that you say that, because you've been a head coach for so many years and you've seen some pretty good quarterbacks and coached good quarterbacks. And I can think of one right now that is in this argument as well, and Joe Milton. I mean, you talk about a guy who has a strong arm. Everybody, I'm pretty sure in this area, wanted him as their starting quarterback. It wasn't even like a question because he can do a lot of different things that most quarterbacks can't do. Yeah, he had a strong arm. But if you got guys that are out there that's supposed to be out there, meaning the guys that are supposed to start and catch his ball, now he's got his legs factored in and the strong arm throwing 64 yards on a rope, stuff like that you can't teach. If I'm a head coach, it's a no-brainer. I love the coach's kid and Brock. I think either one of them would be special to have. But I'm going to have to go with Caleb as well, because he's just different. He's got the it factor. I think Brock does a lot of good things, but he relies on a lot of the stuff that he's been taught, and his IQ is above a lot of the guys, so it makes it easy for him. Whereas Caleb, he's just got the it factor stuff you can't teach. Where he sees an opening, he's going, and he makes things and people miss. I mean, some of the highlights that we saw, he's making 1-2 steps, corners are falling, and he's walking into the end zone. Like that stuff, you either have it or you don't. And then to answer his question about in this area, only 3 quarterbacks are on that Super 60 list, and of course I look at it, and all 3 of those guys I actually train. And I believe every one of the kids in Orlando should be on there, especially at the quarterback position, because I take pride in that. But not only the quarterback is kind of the leader of the team, so a lot of the success of these schools lead through the quarterback position. But I think in this era, we know it's a lot of politics. Yes, unfortunately, it has to do with stars, which ultimately mean nothing, in my opinion. Even though I do train a lot of guys with stars, I still tell them to this day, like, you can't get hyped up and all that, because there are other people with no stars that are just as good, if not better, because they're working at their craft, making their team better. I think all 3 of those guys, like even Curtis Argroves, who was on the 60 list from Lyman High School, that was a surpriser. I don't even think Luke Rucker was on there, and he's a Florida Atlantic offer. So just stuff like that. A lot of political, and again, the game is changing more to the athlete at quarterback, the guys that can do things on their feet, because now you're not just one-dimensional, which is, again, another reason why I would take Caleb. But to answer that question, unfortunately, politics do play a lot in the ranking of quarterbacks, but at the same time, there's so many good talent in Orlando, and a lot of those guys on the list are well-deserved to be on there.
Yeah, and I had a chance. I glanced at the list. I'm going to be very honest with you, man. It's hard. I don't know a lot of the kids' names, even. I've only been here now 5 years, which sounds like an eternity. But when you live in essence, in a bubble, when you so engulfed in the things you're doing in the work and all this, I don't get a chance to see a lot of things. But I'm just going to make a general statement about list, right?
Yeah.
You made a very valid point. Sometimes it is very political. Sometimes it's warranted. It is what it is. Unfortunately, and I'm gonna do a show about this one Thursday about the stars and these lists and offers and all that, and how things are. Unfortunately, kids get so caught up in these things that it's unfortunate. But guess what? It's a great reality for the kid to know that sometimes you just don't get your name called. So what? You understand?
Right.
You know what? You might be the best. And another thing kids don't realize, and I'm about to go on a tangent, but I'm going to get back to the scorecard as soon as we finish this. Just because you're the best at your school doesn't mean you're the best in the area, right? You look at Orlando. You look at Orlando. They have 20 high schools. Well, just because you're the best at high school A doesn't mean you're the best at high school B through Z overall per position. Then you compare that's the Central Florida list, not just Orlando. So your Lake County, that's your Lake County, Osceola, Polk County, Seminole County. So don't get it twisted, bro. You know what I mean?
Broward,
just because you're the man when you walk through on your high school hallways, don't mean you're the man when you walk through everywhere. So I'm gonna say all that. We definitely gonna get into a list one day. But Coach, let's jump into this card. I want to hear how you have it scored. I'm gonna see how I have it scored. And guess what? If this happens to be a split decision, then we got to go to the comments. We got to go somewhere in order to break this split decision. So, Coach, give me your tally marks of what you got. How you got a mark?
Man, I'm telling you what, I come in here in a Floyd Mayweather type, Manny Pacquiao, winning a lot of the early rounds and finish off strong. I got the scorecard 7-3, Caleb.
7-3, Caleb. Now I'm gonna tell you it's a generational difference here because you referencing Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather. Well, guess who I'm referencing? Holyfield, Mike Tyson, them kind of boy, Lennox Lewis. You know what I mean? And I don't even know they're gonna still have to fight on. But guess what? We very close. I have it also very close, but I have it 6-4, Caleb. And I gave Caleb got round 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 10. You know what I mean? So we're very close, man. We're very close because there were some plays that were exciting. I think one play that you really liked where Caleb broke it down, but because he made the wrong read, right? Because he made the wrong read and he still turned it into an outstanding play, I gave it to Brock because he made the right read on that clip for clip.
Okay.
He made the – I'm just saying, so that's how I looked at it. Again, every judge is different, but that's that's how I looked at it because I said to myself –
that's fair.
You pull it, now you got away because of your athleticism. You didn't get away because of scheme. using your athleticism. So that was just an example real quick. All right, man.
Okay.
So, bro, I appreciate it, man. Like I say, any last minute comments? We're not going to stay long because the Heat back playing. I can see coach's
That's it.
eyeballs. I can see coach's
Uh-huh.
eyeballs scrolling back up at the top. Guess what? I got it on my 98-inch screen. That's a 9-inch. That's a 9-inch and an 8-inch put together. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it, man. But with all that being said, let me drop in here. Jay Crawford, what's up, baby? Rilo. He hit me with the fire, the flames. All right. So I guess
Let's go Heat.
We flame right now. All right. And we're gonna check this out, man. Fragrance Journey 01 says, Coach, hope you get a chance, get a Carlos Del Rio breakdown. Well, guess what? We may get a chance to get to it because our WRE lives are not as frequent as they used to be because a lot of these players are back playing again. So it's hard to get these guys on here. They're in practice. They got homework to do. So that's why we kind of introduced this segment to kind of break it down and still break kids down, but make it interactive and fun. So, Coach, any last words you'd like to say before we get out of here, and any shameless plugs you'd like to do, you're more than welcome. And we're going to go ahead and get out of here. And I'm going to get back to my Heat. I think Dwayne Wade playing tonight, right?
No, I wish. Actually, they're playing better without Dwayne Wade. They might go to a conference finals, first time since 2014.
Hold on, I got a quick question. Is UD off the bench yet?
No, he has not played a single minute in the series, and they're still up 3-1. I think they're transitioning into a GA coaching position.
Bro, the dude been on the bench since Dwayne Wade and LeBron been there.
But he's still collecting the check, baby. That's all that matters. The OG.
Nah, but he's part of the furniture, man. He's gonna always remain. He's huge in the community and all of that stuff. But Coach, go ahead with your shameless plug. Anything you like to put out there, and we're gonna get out of here.
So yeah, just obviously, if these kids are going to listen or tuned in right now, because we don't even know, because I reached out to them on Twitter. But at the end of the day, as a coach, you like to have both of these kids. They're both special talents. They're both going to do really well. One's going to Oklahoma, which is an explosive offense, and one's going to the SEC in Georgia, who's historically known for having good quarterbacks. So at the end of the day, both guys, I think, are going to have successful college careers. Hopefully, one day be an NFL draft pick. But again, this is what we do. Right? We break down the film. We go head to head and see who's better, and clearly the number one, number two are exactly where they should be. It is closer as far as the point system goes. Like you said, I think it's 0.0001. But if we're going to look at it from a straight dual threat, I really think Caleb is definitely taking over that category in the 2021 class. But both kids are going to be special. I look forward to seeing them. And thank you again for having me on here. And I look forward to more opportunities to talk about some future quarterbacks.
All right, man. Where can people catch you on Twitter and Instagram?
Yep, so just add my name. You see my name right there. It's at Balin Trujillo, both on Instagram and Twitter. That's my main page. And then I have a quarterback training page specifically for my quarterback training. It's Be True QB Training on Instagram. Go check me out there. And hopefully I look forward to seeing you guys out there in the streets and more conversations like this.
All right, Coach. Great, man. Real quick, my synopsis is you pretty much said it all. Caleb is definitely a dual threat so far as the definition of what dual threat means. Dual threat used to be just an athlete that can throw. Now it is quarterbacks that can run. You understand?
Ooh, like that.
And so what's happening now is, Coach, I'm gonna just make an honest observation here. I've done these two guys, but there's another guy, Tyler Buckner, who's out of California that is committed to Notre Dame. I think he and Caleb may have been better head to head because their games are so similar, right, in the sense. And like I said, special. And I've done his film. So like I say, hit that subscribe button and you can go check it out because he's an exciting film, man. He's an exciting guy. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. We right at the 45-minute mark. We hit 30 minutes. As you know, we always late. We do what we do because we are the number one ranked show on YouTube right now. You understand what I'm saying? So if you want to follow Coach Hayes, check me out on Facebook and Instagram. That is Coach Hayes Football. Also on Twitter, you can check me out at Coach Hayes FB. And I also stay around. CoachHayesFootball.com is on its way. And we getting ready to jump on these podcasts. We getting ready to launch our podcast. We already getting accepted by Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Pocket Podcasts. They already jumping on the line. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those things. And guess what? My beloved Hurricanes play at 8 o'clock on Thursday. So Coach Hayes Football Live may move up to 7 o'clock so we can get in, get out, get our popcorn ready so we can take them UAB, Dragons?
Yeah.
We can slay some dragons around here, if you understand what I'm saying. So, guys, with all that being said, I thank you very much. I appreciate you taking a few moments out your night and your evening to hang with me while the Heat were playing. With all that being said, coaches, there's nothing else. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. And, Coach Hayes, going to holler at you. It's all about you, baby.